Good evening, everyone. So, guys, if you remember in the previous session, we have covered everything in the manage process. And in today's session, we are going to see this FTP, that is File Transfer Protocol server. So, we are going to see how a FTP server and client we can configure, right? There are many things in this one, right? See, the diagram in front of you, which you are able to see now, okay? This is the basic workflow of, I would say, FTP, okay? Which you need to understand what is a FTP and all. And this is what I'll come to this part and all, what FTP. But from your point of view, by looking at this diagram, what you are understanding? I just wanted to know. No idea, guys? Okay, fine. Guys, let me explain this. See, understand, there is a user. This user is nothing but it's like you and me. Any end user will be there, okay, who is trying to upload a file or a download a file from a server, okay. So normally, either the put, okay, put means he is going to upload the file into the server. In a normal term, I'm just talking about. I'm not talking about what is control connection and what is a data connection and all. But being a normal, okay, you don't know about anything file transfer protocol. First of all, FTP is called file transfer protocol, and in this one, a user has to upload and download a file from a server. This is your server, and from this server, either he is going to put a file or he is going to get a file. Okay, means either he has to upload a file, like normally in some of the websites also where you have seen, right, that we have to upload a file, we have to upload an image, we have to upload something, right? So same way here, but FTP is something where you can upload a file and download a file. But remember one thing, that FTP, you cannot upload a directory. In FTP, you cannot upload a directory, and how this entire thing will take place, that is with the help of control connection and data connection. So this I'll come to in the next slides. I'll tell you what exactly a control connection, what is a data connection, what all ports we are going to use for FTP and all. Okay, but in normal, in a general term, if you want to know that what do you mean by FTP, so FTP is a standard network protocol used to transfer file from one host to another host. Or, because see, this is also a machine where you are, or this could be your, see, this is a user, it could be your local host also, and this could be your virtual machine also from a server. So from this server to this server, or from your local laptop also, you can upload and download those files. Yes or no, guys? Correct. So the definition of FTP is basically, it's a standard network protocol to transfer file from one host to another host over TCP network, over TCP based network. TCP based network means what? It's just a internet. That is what I'm telling. On the such as internet and all. So FTP is a built-in client server architecture and utilizes separate control and data connection between the client and the server. That is what. So this will be your client and this will be your server, right? So in this case, if is in case of client server architecture, so here it will be a another virtual, means another host will be there, rather than here I'm just showing you, being an end user, what you can do it in a normal term. But if in case of, like, when you are talking about in term of what is that, server architecture, okay. So in server architecture we separate two things. So one is your control connection, another one is your data connection, guys. So control connection, there will be a port, okay, where you will be sending, and another data connection where you will be receiving, guys. Okay, so that I'll tell you right now. There are, so this I have already written over the same thing. So here you can see the data, and so from here, so the definition of your FTP is nothing but It's a file transfer protocol is used a standard network protocol to transfer file from one host to another host. From what? From this host to this host. Correct. If it is a client and this is a server, means from this server to sorry, this machine to this machine, from one host to another host, you have to transfer the file over a TCP based network such as internet. And FTP is a built on client server architecture. Basically we build FTP on a client server architecture where there will be one FTP server will be there and there will be a FTP client will be there, guys. Okay. So in that case, how the, you can say, upload and download will happen. So that upload and the download will going to take place with the help of control connection and the data connection between the client server architecture. Okay. So in Linux operating system, you can access FTP from both the, from the CLI, means what I want to say here, from this CLI also you can access, and even you can access from the GUI. So we can do it, guys. Let me install. Let me first explain this one completely, and then we like similarly we have access our repository, local repository from the internet. Yes or no, guys? So same way here also FTP we can do it in our from the browser. Okay, we can upload and we can download it, right? So once we configure our FTP server and the client, okay. But the basic architecture you need to understand. This is going to be your basic architecture. Here I have mentioned the user. Instead of user, you just mention the client. Okay, so there will be another client. There will be another virtual machine will be there. Okay, through that you have to configure, this is going to be your FTP server and this user is going to be your FTP client, guys. And you have to upload and download the file with the help of client server architecture, where you will be using control connection and data connection. For put the file means you have to upload the file, get the file means you have to download the file. Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Clear? So the next point, guys, what I have written here is, see, that is what I told you. FTP operates in a client server model where client initiate the connection and the server respond to the client request. Okay, so these things, what is a data and control channel and all. Okay, so now with this one, so basically, as I said, FTP operates means as FTP works in a client server architecture, okay, or you can say that is what I told. It's a client server model where client initiate the connection, means this client is going to initiate the connection. For example, this is just an example I am telling you. Now we'll come to this one. What is active FTP? Types of FTP will be there. There will be passive FTP. Means if you talk with respect to this diagram, so this client, basically this user has to initiate the connection. That is what I am telling over here is that the FTP operates in a client server model where the client initiate the connection, right? And the server respond to the client request. Means the server is going to respond, this server is going to respond to this client request, guys. Okay, now the next thing is from here. So as I said, if you have to upload and download the file, means ultimately you are requesting to the server, the client is initiating the connection, so the server has to respond to the client. So that is what it is, how it's going to take place. So that is with the help of data and channel, means ultimately data connection and channel. So FTP uses two separate channel for the communication, right? So like suppose if I am calling you, okay, if I am calling Anurag, hey hi Anurag, so Anurag has to respond to me, hey hi Abhishek. Okay, he has, if I am requesting him, means if I am calling him hi, so he's responding with a hello message. Yes or no, guys? Correct. So same way here also, if you are requesting to a server, okay, so that has to go through some medium, and that medium is going through what? Through the towers, through a channel, through a I would say service through a like Geo, or you can say Airtel, right? Correct, guys? Through a channel only, we are
Yes, sir.
communicating to each other, right? So through, like, if you are
Medium.
medium, you can say, correct. So here I am just telling that medium, it's going to be your channel, and that channel is basically in FTP is like uh, two separate channels for the communication. That is one is your control channel, another one is your data channel, guys. So the control channel is sending command and receiving response. Okay, so the data channel is used for transferring file. So one channel means, if you see this diagram, okay, so it's this control connection will do the both thing. Okay, so this control connection will only when you request something to the server, to the FTP server, so it's going to respond, it's going to receive a response. But if you have to transfer the data, for that there is a separate channel that is called data connection, guys. Correct? Sure. Okay. So this is there, and then there are different connection modes. Okay. And to choose from when connecting to a FTP server, basically, typically, either a active FTP will be there, and there will be a passive FTP will be there, guys. Now, this is important. This you have to understand carefully. Okay. So now see this one. Okay. So this is also a client server architecture. As I said, there will be a command connection and there will be a data connection. Okay. So in the command connection, you are requesting and response you are getting from the server. And when it comes to the transferring of a file, then that is done with the data connection, guys. Yes or no? So when you are requesting from this client, when you are requesting, can I have this one? Pencil I'll get here or not. One second. ठीक है छोड़ो मैं स्मार्ट बोर्ड नहीं है नहीं तो थोड़ा सा कोई दिक्कत नहीं है वो एडिट करने पे आ रहा है इमेज छोटा हो जा रहा है ठीक है सो व्हाट आई एम टेलिंग हियर इज गाइस सो व्हेन यू आर when you are initiating the connection through the command connection, okay, so you are getting response from the server. So one is very clear, right? When you are going with active FTP, so in that scenario, okay, so there will be a command connection, and if you have to transfer the file, there will be a data connection, guys. So what do you mean by active FTP? Okay, so active FTP is basically the connection mode where command connection is initiated by the client and the data connection is initiated by the server, right? So the command connection is initiated by the client, sorry, the command, yeah, that is what I am telling here. So the command connection is initiated by the client and the data connection is initiated by the client, but this this is happening through which port? Okay, so I have not mentioned the port over here, and this is a potential question in the interview. If you have to initiate, if you are telling it's a active FTP, okay, so through which port we initiate the client connection to a server? So that is going to be your port 21. Okay. So basically FTP uses two port 20 and port 21. So port 20 we use for data connection, means transferring of a file, and port 21 we use it for sending request and getting response from a server. Understanding my point, guys? So for command connection, we use port 21, and for data connection we use port 20, guys. Any doubt over here? Now,
No, sir.
okay, now this I'll explain little bit more because you guys have to understand this one. So active FTP connection mode command where I said active FTP connection is where the command connection is initiated by the client first of all, and the data connection is right initiated by the server, right, and the server establishes the data connection with the client. This mode is referred as a active FTP. Now, the client, what is the next step is going to happen? So, the client opens up a port higher than 1024. A client opens up a port higher than 1024 and through it connects to port 21. So, in this server architecture model, okay, here uh, why I'm mentioning this one, the reason is that how the connection established. You understand, okay, ki, like suppose a client has to initiate the connection, the server has to write response for it. That is a different thing. But how a basic connection establishment will be happened between the client and the server. So the first thing is, as I said, the clients open up port higher than 1024. Okay, so the port, there is a range of that port, and in this client only, okay, that port has to be opened by the client itself, guys, which has to be which is has to be higher, means it has 1024, it's high, it should be higher than 1024. Okay, and through its connect to a port 21. First it's going to connect to the port 21 or the command port. We also call this one as a command port or port 21. So remember, in the interview, if somebody is asking you what is the port number of a command port or why we use port 21, so you guys should give the answer properly for this one. Okay, for the port server, and then the servers open up its port 20. Now the server is going to opens up the port 20 and establish, basically it's going to establishes a data connection to a port higher than again 1024 of the client. This is the basic way a active FTP is working for a FTP server, guys. See, if you guys are getting confused with this one, just remember only two things. Basically, FTP is a client server architecture where a active FTP is like client initiate the connection, right? That is what I said. Where the command connection is initiated by the client in the active FTP, and the data connection with the arrow only is initiated by the server itself. That's it. And it's going to communicate through port 21 and port 20. For command connection we use port 21, for the data connection we use port 20. Okay, if you don't want to go in depth. Okay, and what is passive FTP? Passive FTP is very simple. Here also the port is same, but here the only difference between passive FTP, guys, is like the command connection and the data connection both are initiated by the client itself. So by the arrow only you can understand both are initiated by the client itself. Okay, not by, so there is no, because it's a passive FTP. Okay, so both the connection will be initiated by the client itself. That's it. This is the basic difference between active and passive FTP. Okay, any doubt over here? And the same thing I have written over here. Okay, so seems connection mode where the command connection is initiated by the client and the data connection is initiated by the server. In the passive FTP connection mode, the server acts entirely passively. So as the command connection and the data connection are both initiated and established by the client itself, guys. That's it. Okay. Now, there are
Sir,
some,
how are you selecting that 1024 like above that 1024 port?
there will be a configuration. Now I'll come to that one, Anurag. Okay.
Sure,
So see
sure.
here, there are some configuration in the file. You able to see this one? Passive equal to minimum port is 10,000.
Yes.
Maximum port is 10,000, something I've mentioned, right? So these are the configuration you need to do it from your end. Okay. When you are configuring a client server architecture. Okay. Like, see, I'm not sure you. Once I'll explain you the Docker, guys. So in the Docker, uh, there will be a port forwarding and there will be a port binding. Okay. So for the port forwarding and for the port binding, okay, so there are some port ranges will be there through. See how you are. Okay, communication is one thing, but for data transfer, that is another thing, right? So when I am communicating, as I said, command control is nothing but it's sending request, getting acknowledgement. That is one way done. That is through the port 21. Correct. Now when it's come to data transfer, now you have acknowledged me. I called to Vishal, and Vishal said, okay, Vishal, okay, have you received anything, my request? Suppose it's a normal thing. Suppose I ask him, okay, I have to buy something from Vishal. Okay, so what he has to do, that first I'm going to call Vishal, right? I'm calling Vishal. Vishal, I need a t-shirt from you. Okay, from your company or from your brand, right? Now Vishal will tell, okay sir, this is the price, and through this you let me know your address and all, and I'll send it to your address. So the communication, understand in layman language, so the communication is established between me and Vishal through the medium, through that mobile and all. Okay, so that is called command control basically. Once Vishal has, I call him, he has responded to me. Now the next step will be Vishal has to send me that t-shirt to my location. That is called data transfer, and that will happen through port 20. Now you guys have understand.
Yes, sir, this is fine. But what is this 1024 basically in it?
1024, I will tell. That is the basic. See, that is a range of the port, Vishal. Okay. So we cannot use a random port. There are ports like UDP port will be there, TCP ports will be there. Okay. So there will be a range of port will be there. So it's just telling that you have to use a port higher than 1024. That's it. From the client side, okay, when the configuration will happen, so the port range will be more than that. I'll tell you what exactly that one. Now that is what I'm coming to the profile of
Okay, sir.
FTP server. Okay. So what is the profile of FTP? So you should remember the profile of FTP all the time, guys. That is which package is responsible for FTP configuration of FTP. That is VSFTPD. What is the daemon for FTP? That is VSFTPD. Uh, that is very secure FTP daemon. Port number is 21 for the TCP. Okay. And 1024, it's just random, I would say, port, or its port should be at the client end. Okay, so the port should be higher than 1024. So you no need to worry about this one. Okay. You have to only think about port 20 and 21. Okay. What all configuration files for FTP, that slash etc vsftpd vsftpd.conf slash etc vsftpd user underscore list slash etc vsftpd ftp user slash etc pam.d. This is responsible for security point of view. Okay. For security configuration, like there, like we Anurag was asking me in the last session, sir, like how you are going to configure the SSL certificates and all. Okay, so Anurag, for there is something called FTP and there is something called FTPS. Okay, FTPS. S stands for security. That is the SSL configuration. Those configuration we can do it in slash etc pam.d vsftpd. Anurag. Okay. when you are
Okay, sir.
configuring FTP, because FTP is not secure. SFTP is secure, right?
Yes, a secure file transfer protocol.
Secure file transfer protocol. So in case if you want to in FTP only, if you have to apply any SSL certificate and all, that we can do it under pam.d. Okay, there is a configuration for that one. Now coming back over here, so guys, as I said, FTP works on client server architecture. With this diagram, you understand. So basically here it's going to be your client server, where there will be a FTP server will be there, and this is going to be your FTP client will be there, and this is going to be your FTP server. Okay. So that configuration we are going to do it now. So for the first step to configuring your uploading and downloading of a file, you need to install the FTP. And before that, why I have written this one, install sudo dnf update -y, because you just update your repository. That's it. If you are a normal user, then you have to become a root. Okay, then only you can do you can configure the FTP server, guys. But since we are already a root user, who am I? Okay, so we no need to do all these things directly. We can execute the command dnf install vsftpd, dnf install. What is happened now? Install vsftpd. Okay, and then -y. Okay, so it's not going to prompt me. It's not going to ask me whether yes and no. Here comes the directly listing directory send. Okay, correct, guys. Now, when you run the command ls, you can see that it's showing that we are using passive mode. Correct. So download some file using get or mget command. So if you have to download something, then you need to download something, get an mget command. Okay. For a single file, if you have to download, so for that, what you need to do before that, you need to upload something into this one. Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
So how you are going to upload something over here? Or it's already uploaded?
Put sir,
Yes.
put that command.
Okay. Put and then
M put. I think M put would be there.
put for multiple files, Vishal. Okay. And if I have to
Okay, sir.
upload a single file, I am going to use a put command, right? And then file name,
Yes, sir.
file1.txt,
Fine.
ideally, correct? Yes or no? Will it work? Tell me, guys,
No such file those directly. No, sir.
why it's not working? I see why I am telling these things and all. I just want you guys to troubleshoot. This is how we work. I can do it. It's not a big task, okay? But I just wanted to know that you have to download something. You told, okay? I said get command is to download. Now we are in passive mode. We have to download something. Yes or no, guys? So tell me how, where is the file? You have to think of it, right? Where is the file? The file is already there in the pub directory. Or should I open a duplicate tab over here? Let's log into root cd where ftp pub. Is there anything over here? Is there
No, sir.
anything over here? No, right? Correct. So just think, guys, okay, if there should be something, then only it's going to download, right? And if something will be there in your system, that thing you need to know what all things are there in your FTP, correct? Which you have to upload. So just do a touch command over here. File1 dot txt, file2 dot. So what I said, what is the definition of FTP? What is the definition of FTP? Who is going to tell me? Hmm? What is the definition of
Type it.
FTP? Sorry?
File transfer protocol, sir.
File transfer protocol, sir.
तुम लोगों को उठा के फेंक दूंगा मैं. अभी क्या बताया मैंने सबसे पहले विशाल? What I have told you guys just now. Uploading and downloading a file.
Okay, okay, sir.
File transfer protocol is fine. You are just don't tell these things in interview and all, guys. Uploading and downloading a file. This is the purpose. This is why we use FTP server. Correct. So if you have to upload
Correct, sir.
something, are we creating something over there? We are
No,
uploading.
sir.
We are downloading. Means there should be something already there in the FTP server which we are going to download. Correct? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Right, sir.
Yes, sir.
Like same way in the yum, if you guys remember, what is that? 192 repo. This is our repo which I have created. Correct? So if you go to this directory, okay, if you click on something, it's going to download, right? Same thing should be happen to here also, right? But before that, you need to create some file. You have created some file. Okay. Now log into FTP because since you have already installed the FTP client 192.168.72.214. Okay. And what is the password? Anonymous. This is the spelling. Correct. Password is nothing. Correct. So first, where you are in some different directory. You are in passive mode. You checked. Now you need to move to pub directory because pub directory is the only directory from where you can upload and download. Remember, for FTP, the default home directory is where FTP pub. Correct? This is the default directory of FTP server. There only you can upload and download. It should not be any other directory. Okay? So now you are inside pub directory. Now use get command, okay, to download what? So it's downloaded. Transfer complete. Understanding. And now if you do ls, so where we are, where we are in the pub directory from the FTP server, but just do a buy. Now do a because since we are already in the pub directory, guys, I have moved to create a file and all. Okay, so let's move it to any other directory in the topmost, and from here login, and then you'll understand. Okay, it's overwrite the same file. Okay, that is something because we are already in the pub directory, and there only we are downloading the file1.txt. Correct. So now we are here, and then finally the username. I'll take it from here. Anonymous. Okay. CD pub get transfer complete by Do we have file1.txt here? Do we have file1.txt here?
Yes, sir.
It is here. Correct? Now let's try to download all, or let's create a go to some different directory. Let's go to script folder. Yeah. Okay, let's download everything over here, all the files. Okay. Now again do FTP and again anonymous. Okay. CD pub ls. Now in the passive mode, let's mget. Okay. One, two. Mget will work. I think mget will take all the files, multiple files we need to mention. I think like this only. The syntax might be. I'm not sure. Exactly not remember, but I think this should work. Okay, so this is coming every time it's asking you. This is because of the interactive mode, guys. So you need to make sure you need to turn on the interactive mode, right? So it should not be asking you whether you have to download or not. Okay, transfer completed, transfer completed. Now do a buy, okay, and just do a ll or a ls-ltrh. So you can see all four files have been downloaded to this script folder. Yes or no, guys? Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
But the question here is because since it's asked me, let me remove all this one. Okay. What is that? Star dot. No, it will delete. This is my script folder. Okay. Let's remove this one. One second, guys. Okay. So I have removed everything. Now let's do it again because this time it should not ask you. It's because of interactive mode. It's asking you. It's prompting you. Okay. So what is that one? Anonymous. Okay. Enter. CD pub, right? Just do a ls. Okay. So for this one, just type prompt. prompt. So now you can see interactive mode is off now, right? Yes or no, guys? Correct. Now use mget command. Use file1, file2, file3, file4. See transfer completed. You see the difference how we can turn off and turn on the interactive mode. Yes or no, guys? Yes or no, guys? No, yes, yes, no.
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
And if you have to exit from FTP, then from the FTP server and check whether the files are there or not. Okay. So you need to either use a command called buy or you can use a quit command. So just do a buy and just do a ls-ltrh whether the files have been downloaded or not. So you can see the files have been downloaded over here. Today is 26. The time is this. It is downloaded. So here we have seen the downloading, how to download completely, okay, multiple files and how to configure FTP server, right? And we have downloaded it from the CLI. And in the next session, we are going to see how we can upload and how we can download the files from a different host. Today we are able to perform only I would say it's only one scenario because in this one also the uploading is still we have not done it. Correct? Because mget or simple get, it's just a file means whether you are downloading a single file or whether you are downloading multiple files. Okay. So I consider this one as a one scenario only, one real time scenario. So now another scenario will be your same thing. We can do it for uploading a file. For that, there are some configuration we need to do it. Okay. Then only it's going to work out. So let's end up the session here only, guys. Thank you for staying connected. Let's connect again for the next session. Right till then, just take care of yourself, your loved one. Bye bye and Jai Hind.
Jan sir, good night sir.
Good night.